It is the weekend of November 8th, and let's talk about the current astrology because it's a lot. Scorpio season. I'm wondering if we've all been moving through our own death portal, our death and rebirth portal. It is like a huge initiation that is taking place right now, especially if you have planets around 16 degrees of Scorpio. So if you have your sun, moon, rising, any planet, really, any planet or point around 16 degrees of Scorpio. I would also extend this to all of the water signs, if you have it around those degrees in Cancer or in Pisces, then you are probably really feeling this change and this transformation that's taking place. Scorpio season, we're about halfway through it. It's at 16 degrees right now. It's been conjunct Lilith. There has been a lot that's been coming up to the surface. Venus just entered Scorpio. Venus, the planet of love and relationship and what we value. So shit's getting real. Scorpio does not fuck around. Scorpio wants to get to the root of everything. It wants to get to the heart of something. It wants to dig up the things that we need to look at, like slowly bringing it up to the surface so that we can transmute the hurt, the anger, the rage, the pain that's been pushed down. And so it's been a huge initiation. Every time we go into the underworld, have our own dark night of the soul moments, it is an initiation, and we are growing and we're healing through those awful experiences, really, because Pluto and the Scorpio energy, it wants evolution of the soul at all costs. It's not about positive, beautiful, happy experiences all the time. Scorpio is about death. It's about transformation, alchemy, transmutation, taking one thing and being able to turn it into something completely different, taking your pain and turning it into your art, turning it into your purpose, turning it into what you do in the world. And so if you have a planet or point around 16 degrees of Scorpio, you're probably really feeling this energy. It is making a beautiful aspect to the North Node here in Pisces. 16 degrees, it's exact today. This is beautiful. This is like, okay, the change, the transformation, whatever emotions, whatever is coming up to the surface. We don't need to label it or need to intellectualize it or understand why it's there or what it's doing. We just need to sit with it for however long we need, because whatever's going on for you underneath the surface right now is connected to something way greater. It's connected to truly your highest timeline, to your destiny, to your fate, to the highest trajectory. That is the North Node. The North Node here in Pisces that is helping all of us connect with ourselves on a deeper level, connect with that Piscean energy. This is like a 1.5 year long journey where we are connecting with our intuition. We're connecting with source. We're connecting with our spiritual practices. We're connecting with the unseen world. There's a big draw. It feels more than ever like to dive into intuitive things, into psychic things, into every single person connecting with their abilities, because we all have these abilities. It's just whether or not you've taken the time to cultivate them. So I just want to say that whatever is going on for you right now, whatever is happening beneath the surface, the bigger transformation that's taking place. And maybe it was, one event that happened. Maybe it was a traumatic event that happened. That's definitely what happened for me. And then it was an ongoing, trauma unfolding and processing what happened. But it could be something like an external thing. It could be a slow, cathartic, internal burn that is taking place. Scorpio can be a very slow, deep, kind of pulling up, roots or a plant, slowly pulling it up to the surface, but really getting to the base of something. So it can be playing out differently for everybody, again, based on your own individual birth chart. That's why it's so important to have a relationship with your birth chart, so you know what the planets, how the planets in the sky are interacting with your birth chart. So this is just one of the aspects, the sun, that is trining the North Node here right now. This is just one of the many aspects that are taking place, but I really wanted to point at this because it's in conversation with the nodes of fate, right? The South Node and the North Node. And so there is something that we are able to release right now. It's also, talking to the South Node, something that we're able to release from the past, something that's been weighing us down, something that we don't need anymore, something that we need to let go of. There is literal shedding skin. Oh my God, I'm literally shedding skin. My skin is peeling off of my body. Oh, yeah, we're shedding skin and we are coming into a new form, but it's painful as fuck. It's super uncomfortable. It is the most uncomfortable thing. You know, it sounds so nice and so pretty, like the dark night of the soul. It sounds so beautiful, but it is god awful. It is literal hell. It is the worst pain that you can feel. You know, it is as low as it gets, but it is necessary. It is just as necessary as the other moments, you know. And you can probably reflect in your life and look back on the incredibly hard times, the incredibly challenging times in your life where you thought you might not be able to make it through. That is the Scorpio energy. You know, the Scorpio part in our chart is the part within all of us that flirts with death, that doesn't want to be here sometimes, that feels like it's too heavy and it's too much and it's going to consume them. That is the Scorpio energy. And so learning the right use of the Scorpio energy, if you have a lot of Scorpio in your chart, is vital. It is so important, and it's so powerful, and it can be so beautiful, and it can be so light, and it can be filled with bliss and with joy. But there's both ends, right? There's two ends of that spectrum. It's not just the light. In order to get to that place, it is the shaman, the initiation into the underworld, moving through excruciating things, and knowing that on the other side that you're going to come out stronger, that you're going to be reborn. It is going to be a new version of yourself. And so you can probably see that as you look back in your life at those different times, you know, that we all move through our own dark night of the soul, and how it was incredibly painful at that time. But without that period of time, you wouldn't be where you are today. And you can't speed up that process. You need to stay in that process for as long as you need to be there. You can't like expedite the process or the healing. You must be in there for however long it takes, but you have the tools, you know, you have the tools to move through the underworld, through your own dark night of the soul. And if you don't, you reach out and you gather more tools. That is kind of the purpose of being here, you know, to be able to support ourselves. We get readings, we connect with different people, and we get more tools to be able to better move through life. And so that is just one of the many aspects, but it's just been really strong this Scorpio season, and the sun that is making this beautiful aspect to the North Node right now, really assisting in everybody's evolution and our growth. It is like a fast track towards evolving and towards a higher path, but in order to get to that place, an old version of yourself has to die. That is the Scorpio energy. It is death and rebirth, right? So you can't move into something new without letting the old version die off. So the dying off is painful, but the other side, you are completely transformed and reborn.